All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about the technical stuff. Mega had to take a quick shower. He is back. Smells better. And we are here with our NA championships. We have Thank You Next in the blue, and we have Them Scare or something along those lines in the red. This is going to be a good matchup for sure. We have some names here that we saw playing in the semis last week as well, so let's keep an eye on it as we start out here on Ilios. Going to be starting it off on Lighthouse as these teams are looking to engage. We have Double Projectile coming out of Thank You Next and the Symmetra May coming out of Them Mascara. So this is going to be interesting for sure as we see them make their way towards the point. Yellow going to get that opening pick, taking down Hopes. Pureful going to get taken up very low as well on this May. Sack is going to team up Viva. That is going to be a huge opening pick as well. Velvet going to take down Sleepy as it looks like the side of Thank You Next should be winning this. We have Odd Future picking up 3 kills there on the Reinhardt. It is just a Mercy as Miss Heartless is trying to get away, and she is going to get behind her with the shield. Staying alive. First point going to go in favor of Thank You Next, and that is a great opening start, as it seems like Velvet and Yellow are getting a lot of value on these projectile DPS. And gonna stick with the Sim here, which is an interesting choice. I don't know if Sleepy Moira is a Symmetra main, or this is just a preference here on this point, but they're gonna lose Sack there as well. Rez gonna be spent on her, and then Hope's gonna get dropped immediately after. Pleasingness is going to drop there as Becky picks up 2 on the Mizaria. We do have this engage still coming here. Sleepy going to then take down Velvet, but Heartless on that Mercy is going to drop. This should be a matter of time here before they clean up the May as well. As actually, she's able to back up here. The Sim set up on the backside, and actually where Sleepy has these turrets set up, it's kind of like in a spawn trap kind of setup. And actually, I think we're going to see Velvet walk out here into these turrets, potentially take some damage. And yeah, that is going to happen, but Velvet going to be okay as this fight is engaging. Velvet going to be on a flank here. Here comes that Sim ult from Sleepy Moira. Then drop the teleporter as well, and the May ult coming in as well. And this is a big combo right now, but a big bubble from Becky keeping Odd Future alive as she's trying to stay up. She is finally going to die. Becky trying to stay alive here on this sorry, but point finally going to swing over to Them Mascara as they're going to start racking up some percents here. Odd Future getting res back into this one. Becky getting frozen in the back as this May is getting a lot of value. We are then going to see Witchcraft and Velvet both drop. Becky going to clean up Pureful before she gets cleaned up by Pleasingness. And Yellow Diamond going to invest the barrage and a beat drop. This is still winnable now for the side of Thank You Next. It looked like the team fight was over. We are going to have Sleepy Moira use that teleporter to contest the point here, trying to stay alive. Yellow Diamond does kill Miss Heartless. You're going to see Odd Future drop to Moira, but then she is going to fall. Thank You Next going to regain point control after allowing 29% up. And we're going to see some team comp changes coming in here as Pureful going to swap onto this Ashe, Heartless onto the Moira. Instead of Thank You Next going to stick with what they got going here. Becky has this grab to work with. This could be big for this team fight as they're going to be looking for this engage. And they're just going to have 3 in it. A counter grab coming in from Pleasingness. We are going to see Becky get dropped. That's the only pick out of either one of those grabs is Becky actually dying. Not a lot of value coming in. Velvet going to clean up Pureful, however, here. As we're making our way onto this point, Symmetra of Sleepy Moira, Symmetra trying to get value. Yellow Diamond with another barrage, going to pick up 2 with it after killing Sleepy with the regular rockets. We are going to then see Pleasingness trying to stay alive on the point. She is going to get dropped, and it is an impressive first round here on Ilios for Thank You Next. Definitely looking very strong right now, as they are going to be up 1-0 here on Ilios. And the Symmetra on that point obviously has its place, and it's worked for a lot of teams before. However, in this given situation, I think it's probably going to be something they have to come off of, and we are going to see Sleepy Moira swap onto that Mercy. The Pharah was just getting too much value, and I think that Sim really can't do enough to slow her down. We are now going to see Becky swapping onto the Ashe and Velvet onto this Hog, so they're going to have Orisa Hog here, which is going to be really solid. We are going to see Sack also on the Doomfist, which is an interesting choice. Going to be trying to maybe punch some people down that hole. We'll see if they're able to get any value out of it here as we are now making our way towards point with the side of Thank You Next up 1-0 here on Ilios team fight. happening here across the point, and right away, then next, they're going to be standing on their corner, trying to gain control of this point. Doomfist in the back lines, he's going to get taken out. Pureful going to drop Witchcraft, though, is that big. No mercy for the side of Thank You Next. Big hook coming in, but the Diva is going to just barely get away. She was flying over the hole, absolutely one shot. One bullet could have dropped her down, but we are going to see Yellow Diamond get taken out. Big hook coming in, but the Lucio going to stay up as well. So Velvet's landing 2 hooks that could have been pulls, but just happened to grab the wrong characters. Both were able to stay alive. Point control as Becky takes down Pleasingness. That's going to be a big one. They're going to spend res on that. Reaper flanking. Becky going to have to try to bounce back that Reaper, call that one out. Nobody still has point control. There's just a lot of poke going down right now, and I guess this is fun. I guess as we are going to see a big pull coming in from Odd Future, keeping the Reaper off of the point. Bob coming out from Becky, and he is just shooting at Arista shield. Bob shoots something else. You're not hurting the shield. As we are going to see him finally get cleaned up. We are now going to see Pleasingness die as well. Nobody has point, is literally just still there at that first little tick. However, with that Arista ult coming in, and then we're going to see Yellow flank. That's going to be huge, picking up 2. Point control should be going in favor of Thank You Next. It is, and let's see for them to get aggressive here and swarm and try to clean up these last few kills. A long little staggered out fight there, as both teams were putting in a lot of poke, but Thank You Next was finally able to jump on an opportunity there to open that one up, as Yellow has gotten a ton of value on this Pharah. Definitely playing like one of the better Pharahs we've seen. Going to probably go toe-to-toe with any of the ones we'll see in this tournament, getting a ton of value. Meanwhile, Witchcraft has this Mercy ult. Keep an eye on that and try to be aggressive. And they get the Reaper again. This time it's Velvet taking the Reaper off the point. Bob coming in that backline, B-Drop coming out from Diva, trying to keep everybody alive. They are going to take Bob out. And now Becky's Bob is going to be in. That's the second Bob coming out of Becky here, getting a lot of value on this Ashe. Going to clean up Hopes. That's going to open it up. And Bob is popping off right now for the side of Thank You Next. Becky is going to drop the Sleeping Moira on that Mercy. We all saw that, the screenshot of that. And keep this one going. But Thank You Next up 50-0 here on Well. Looking to close out Ilios. The Mercy Sleeping Moira trying to hit the jukes, trying to get away, and Diva's going to hunt her down. You're not getting away from Diva on that Lucio, as now this is getting to a point where, I mean, the side of them is going to have to start using these ults and trying to get value, and it's just these DPS. I mean, Purple 33 to a Bob, Sack only 70 to that Blossom. They got to get more value out of these DPS. They got to open up these team fights with some picks. They're just allowing for the side of Thank You Next to sit back there and put poke in. That's a big flank coming out of Sack, trying to get something going, and Pleasingness with a huge two-man Diva bomb. Gonna really open this one up. We do see Velvet get a pick though, taking Hopes off the map, and then Becky evening this one up. I believe it's a 4v4 now. Point control gonna swing in favor of them, but the side of Thank You Next could potentially swing this one around. Sack gonna take down Velvet, and down goes Becky. This should be going in their favor. Thank You Next gonna need to look for a full regroup here on Well. And here we come now, as we're not going to see any comp changes out of the side of Thank You Next. They're going to stick with what they got going. If it's not broken, don't change it. Meanwhile, that Death Blossom, though, out of Sack, she's going to have to get value on this Reaper ult if she wants to really open it up here for her team. Looking on a flank right now is going to clean up Becky. You're going to see Miss Heartless get one as well. You don't really need any ults if you're here, but Diamond going to swing this one around and pick up 2 on that flank with that barrage, trying to open this one up in their favor. And Yellow Diamond has proven time and time again, it doesn't matter how many people are alive in this team fight, she will use that barrage. She's not kidding. She thinks she can win every team fight when she has it. And so far, she has gotten a ton of value on them. So let's see what Thank You Next like to do here. Diamond trying to stay alive on point. She got a Diva chasing her. Her Mercy is not with her. She is low, and she has to be able to stay alive here. She gets back over. Here comes the Diva Bomb over the top, trying to get value. That's going to pick up 2. Another huge Diva Bomb by Pleasingness. This one could swing back in favor of the side of them pretty easily, as that Death Blossom comes in as well. That's a huge team fight for them. This one's going to be about tied as this next team fight engages. Thank You Next needs to potentially make some sort of change. I guess they're going to roll what they got here. They do actually have 6 ultimates coming up. Gonna just go for that overpower ultimate strategy, I am sure. That's here to come now. We got the beat drop, the Orisa ult, the whole hog, trying to get something going. We are gonna see Velvet pick up 2. Becky picks up 1. Pleasing is gonna drop. There's a lot going on in this kill feed right now. That looks like Thank You Next is gonna come out on top. We got Bob on Bob violence right now as they are shooting at each other, but nonetheless, this one is gonna go in favor of Thank You Next. And but the side of them was able to roll us up to 99%. I believe they're going to be able to get another re-engage. They have Beach Drop to work with, but keep an eye on Yellow here. She has this barrage. She's going to be going for a flank and try to seal this map for her team. Can anyone of them touch? No one can even touch. Didn't even matter. Thank you, next. Going up 1-0 here on Ilios. A huge first map. And they are going to put themselves in the driver's seat here to potentially move forward to the International Championships. Play of the game for Yellow Diamond here on the Pharah. She had plenty of plays like this. And going to farm up that barrage here. And I'm sure we're now going to see her pop it. And nice little 3K here to 10 cap off the 10-player streak. Huge plays. Absolutely huge start for Thank You Next. We will be right back with map 2. Don't go anywhere. Alright guys, you are back from that dreadful music that Mega is playing, and you get to listen to me again. We have Thank You Next, Team in Blue on this defense first, going to be up 1-0 in the series. The side of them need to make this comeback happen here on Rialto, and they're going to immediately come out with that Bastion Orisa, that very controversial comp. However, they're really unable to get this set up, as we actually have Yellow Diamond on a Bastion of her own, just laying down the damage right now, and Velvet as well. These are huge opening picks to the side of Thank You Next, and they're picking up right where they left off with just absolute dominance right now in this series. They're gonna demech pleasingness as well, looking to leave her as she's gonna be discorded, and yeah, they're gonna let her kind of try to run away. Maybe they'll pick her up late, and down she goes. An absolutely perfect start for the side of Thank You Next, and it's looking like the side of them need to go back to the drawing board, but they got to do it quick, as yeah, they're gonna bring out that Pharah to try to put down some additional damage. It's going to be tough here. This defense is going to be really tough to break up. I don't know how you're going to do it, but they're going to need to try. I think that Pharah poke is going to be absolutely crucial here. Once these shields go down, it's exactly what they're going to do. And right now they're just kind of running that payload past, trying to just move it. That Hansvolt is going to take down Purple. And we are going to see Velvet, though, get cleaned up by Sack. You know, now here on the point, both teams looking to get aggressive. Actually, we're going to have trades going back and with Mercy Res coming in, going to be absolutely huge. This one actually might be going in favor of the side of Themyscira as they are moving this one forward, and that is a really impressive break. I did not think they were going to be able to do that. Diva still in the backlines on the Zen, probably going to have to die. She is. I don't think Thank You Next is going to be able to engage this. No, they're not. They're going to give that one up. A really impressive break there. I like the way they did that, and I didn't think that they were going to be able to. I thought Thank You Next was really set up in a good spot. However, Themyscira looking solid right now. Maybe they can keep this one rolling throughout the Streets phase, as here they are now onto the bridge. We are seeing a lot of damage coming in from the top here, trying to continue to just put down Poke. And the payload, though, from Themyscira, they just keep moving it. As Thank You Next is electing to not really hop on and contest, but to try to hold that high ground. They might need to stop doing that as Careful picks up 2, and this payload is just rolling uncontested through Streets. And again, they're just going to get a couple stagger kills here. And Becky in this Diva, she's going to have to try to get away, and I think they might be able to demech her. Oh, that would have been so big. And she's going to be back with her team. I think they might be able to re-engage this one here. They got to go now if they're going to go. No, they're going to give this one up again. So that's 2 points. And they only got, they still haven't really fought a team fight. Thank You Next looked so good to start this one off. And now Odd Future's gonna pop her ultimate, immediately get dropped. Diamond cleans up Sack, but nonetheless, they just used that Orisa ult now. 5 minutes left, and here comes a flank out of Diamond. She's gonna pop her tank mode, trying to get value. She's gonna drop Sleepy Moira, then gonna go for the ultimate. You're gonna see Velvet use her ult as well. This should probably stop the bleeding for the time being. But nonetheless, a very impressive start to this map from the side of Themyscira, as they're actually not done right yet. They still have 4 people on this payload. We are going to have that Transcendence get popped as well. I think Thank You Next would have preferred not have to use it, but they had to invest it. And then we're going to see Sack pick up 2. Pleasingness picks up 1. Thank You Next cannot stop this payload from moving right now. We are going to see Yellow trying to stay alive. Witch doing an awesome job keeping her up right now, trying to keep this fight going. However, it looks like the side of Themyscira is going to roll this right into this last bit. Here we come now as this engage is happening. 2 meters, you got to hop on the point. It is literally, it says 0.0. It is literally as close as it can get. Velvet picks up 1. Thank You Next cannot let this payload move at all. Even 1 fraction of a tick. Picks going in favor of Themyscira. It's just Odd Future on the point. She's trying to stay alive. She's going to go down, and unbelievably impressive round by Themyscira. Thank You Next had no answer for that offense. The second that payload got going, it did not stop. What a round. At 3 minutes and 54 seconds, maybe the most impressive time I've ever seen on Rialto.
Initiating match.
Absolutely huge stuff. Themyscira really... I mean, it was, that's about as good as I've ever seen anybody play offense here. I don't know if Thank You Next, I didn't love their defensive strategy, sitting on high ground and allowing the payload to move past. I didn't think they were doing enough damage to really allow for that. However, the offense there from Themyscira really forced them into bad positions, really focused targets. Well, it seemed like when they were winning team fights, they were winning them cleanly, not allowing too many people on their team to die. Really impressive stuff, and if they play like that on this map and then maybe map 3 if we get there, this is going to be tough for Thank You Next, as they are struggling right now. So we'll keep an eye on it here as we move into the second point. I mean, the second wave of Rialto. I apologize. And we did lose Odd Future. So with that being said, we will take a quick break. I'm gonna grab some water because I was just yelling. We'll be back. Don't go anywhere. All right, guys, welcome back. We are underway here on Rialto. We just saw Themscara put up maybe the most impressive offense I've ever seen. And now we're going to see Thank You Next try to do the same thing on offense, and immediately Yellow Diamond on this Bastion going to get dropped, and we have Sack flanking, but Velvet going to drop her. They're actually going to trade. That's a big pick for the offense here, as they have huge spawn advantages. However, this Bastion set up in that corner, going to be putting on a ton of damage. Becky going to get DMAC'd right away. Velvet getting res back in this one. Sack swapping off that Pharah onto the Junkrat. An interesting choice. And Lucy on Miss Mercy trying to stay alive. She is going to be able to kind of kite to the side as she's taking poke. And the side of Thank You Next kind of trying to do the same thing and just hop on the payload and move it like what they did to them. And currently they're kind of allowing it here. However, they are going to hop down and send some people at the front of the payload to try to slow down that push. And we are going to see Odd Future drop here to Pleasingness on this Diva. Witchcraft going to get that big res onto her to bring her back, as now this fight is going to engage again with a 6v6. That shield pressure is just too much, though, for the side of Themscara, as Yellow Diamond is unable to get down as much damage as she is. We are going to see her get taken out, actually. And again, we're going to see Themscara, the queens of Rialto, you could say, as they are just looking extremely good right now, putting down a ton of pressure and really dominating. I mean, Thank You Next, who looked so good on Ilios, to be honest, looked like they were just a totally different tier of a team. And now, since coming to Rialto, it has totally swung a 180 as the side of Themscara is looking good. Here comes the Zenyatta ultimate, trying to keep these guys alive, allowing them to get aggressive. I like that play out of Diva, trying to allow for them to do something. That's going to open up for her to get a huge pick on the Pureful, taking down that Bastion. Absolutely huge. Sleepy Moira does clean up Diva, but I think Diva did enough to open this one up for her team, which is going to bring her back. Odd Future going to drop the Sack. It is, I believe, a 5v3, making a 4v4 as the reses come in and a pick. And I think this one could go either direction right now. And I think just based on positioning, yep, Yellow's going to drop. Oh, Witch with some impressive movement, but she's going to drop as well. And I think they're going to get Becky too. They are a huge hold there on defense. We're down to a minute and a half. This is as impressive of a hold that we have seen. I mean, this map so far has been nothing short of impressive from the side of Themscara. We have that Bastion out in the backlines trying to put down damage here. Just Pureful just getting so much value out of it. We have those Arisk pulls coming in. Here comes the Rip Tire from Sack. Oh, Velvet with a huge shot onto the tire. That is going to be absolutely huge. Now this fight continuing. Them have some players on the flank. Here comes the Diva Bomb over the top. Going to pick up two. Becky takes down the Bastion and the Lucio. That might be the opening they need. Velvet takes down one as well. Becky going to DMAX Pleasingness. Becky going absolutely huge for thanking next right now. Just got to clean up the baby diva, which with a big time res there onto yellow, and this one is going to flip now as we do see thanking next finally moving this payload forward. I don't think we're going to see them Scarlet to contest as they don't have their main tank, and Sack actually going to swap onto the soldier, which is an interesting choice. We'll see if that's able to work for them here. And yellow, oh my, is literally got like 5 HP maybe. And she's gonna back up and get topped off here as now we have this street phase engagement going. We still have Pureful on that Bastion, but yellow swapping onto this Pharah really is what opened it up for thanking next, and that allowed for them to just have a little bit more DPS and a little more room to move. And they are now really trying to utilize that as they got this Bastion backing up. And that's a big time pick by yellow. We see Pureful, they're going to take down Odd Future. Then we're going to see Velvet take down Pureful. Rez is coming in for both teams. Going to be a man advantage in favor of thanking next. And right as I say that, Pleasingness picks up 2, taking out the pharmacy with a Diva Bomb. This should be another team fight win for them, Scara, as their dominance here on Rialto continues. Odd Future trying to get away, but they don't really want her to. They're going to pick up that kill as well. Becky trying to get out. She's going to get demeched. And at this point, you're almost better off just hopping off the map. She's going to stay at Kitty Diva here and try to farm this up. But this might take longer than it would have taken just to respawn. And if she gets picked, it's going to be really a longer delay. Diva, though, with a big pick on the Sack, I think we're going to see that res, but that's going to take them out of res here on this fight. Pureful won this dash and continuing to lay down damage. Diva with a big-time Transcendence. That's going to buy a lot of space here, and she's going to be up in the front trying to slang that Discord, but Pureful picks up 2. But we are going to see Meow Becky get 1, then Whip bring back Odd Future. We're going to see Becky get a second one as well, just really trying on this Diva, but nonetheless, the pick's going in favor of them Scara. We are now down to under 1.5 minutes here for the offense, and this is really looking tough for this side of thanking next, as Becky gonna get staggered as well. They have some ults to work with. Yellow gonna pick up 1. They're playing this strangely aggressive for a team down, I believe, 2 players. I guess it's actually just Becky, and with Velvet getting picks like that, I mean, I guess continue to push up, and that's the way to do it. Diva picks up another one as well. Absolutely huge. Yellow gets another. Here we go now as these picks are going in favor of thanking next. Yellow going to get another one as well. That's going to be a full, clean team win for the side of thanking next, trying to get this Diva out of mech. She's going to... We have seen so many Divas get away with 1 HP today. It's incredible. She's going to get out, allow for this one to get set up here, and that's going to be another big pick there as well. Sack is trying to find the character that she should stay on, and she's having a hard time, and I think it's probably frustrating with this Pharah of yellow and the Widow of Velvet applying all this pressure, but really right now, they need to figure something out, as the side of thanking next is starting to hit back into that form that we saw on Ilios, getting these picks, fighting together, using that Discord from Diva, and they are going to continue to roll this as we are heading in to this last point, and Diva closing in on another trance. We have that barrage, we have the Diva bomb. Meanwhile, for the side of them, they have a couple ults to work with, but they gotta get value out of them as this payload is creeping in on that final bit. Yellow gonna pick up 2 as they are coming out of spawn. Absolutely huge. Diva picks up 1 as well. Diva bomb coming out. They are going to trade. Witch drops, so does Sack. It's just the Diva and the Mercy on point. If they can clean them up quick, thanking next, they're going to cap it. And we might have a map on our hands here on Rialto.
Score 3-3. Initiating match.
All right, guys, welcome back here as it is 3-3. Thank you. Next, have a little over a minute to work with, and they got to make something happen. It took them a little longer on offense the first time. They're gonna have their backs up against the wall here with the time they have left. They're gonna have to make it happen quicker, obviously. As the defense here of Themyscira, if they can just repeat what they did last time on defense, easier said than done, they will be set up perfectly. But Velvet with a huge opening, 2 picks, taking them the D.Va and the Ashe. That's gonna force res onto that Ashe. They're now not gonna have their D.Va. They are gonna take down Hopes here. The side of Thinking Next could really make something happen right now with these picks, and they are going to dive. Becky getting aggressive. Viva frontlining on this Zen, slanging the Discord, putting up the damage. She is going to get dropped, but nonetheless, a huge opening team fight for the side of Thinking Next. Look for them to get aggressive here as they're getting these reses in, and Diamond is putting out a ton of damage in the front line on this Pharah, trying to keep them back. 23 seconds left. Really, if you're the side of Themyscira, you engage this because this could potentially be the last team fight if you're able to win it. But these first picks going in favor of Thank You Next. Now, if you're Themyscira, back up, you're throw at the fight, do something here because you need a reset. Thank You Next have flipped the switch, and they are back on making this thing happen. They're going to D-Mech Blazing here, clean her up. And this is a big-time swing around for Thank You Next, and they got split spawns here as well. They might be able to apply some pressure. And that's actually a big pick from Sack, taking down Velvet. And then we're going to see Yellow Diamond take down Sack. Velvet going to get res back into this by Witch. She has had a very good Mercy game going so far, bringing back everybody she can. And seems to be set for Sleeping Moira. Both these Mercies getting a ton of value as she is actually going to be resing back in Fearful. I believe we got a 6v6 going here now. Yellow has this barrage. See it behind him, going to go absolutely big. Picks up 1, make that 2, make that 3. Yellow with another opening team fight barrage on that flank. So slippery. Someone's got to call her out as she is just getting everything she wants. And Sack going to say, I'll take you out. Unfortunately, it's a little too late. But big time shots there out of Sack. And we are now going to see this payload making its way towards point 3 here on Rialto. Thank You Next really turning this one around in their favor. Here comes that pick out of Yellow, taking down Pureful. Diva Bomb coming in from Becky, going to pick up 1. This is another team fight win for Thank You Next. And now, if you're the side of Themyscira, it's probably starting to get nervous as this one could get out of hand quick, much like what you did to Thank You Next. They are doing to you now. If they're able to cap this here with only a minute and, what do they have, a minute and 50, I believe. If they're able to cap this payload, that is going to be absolutely huge for them in this series. Going to really set themselves up, and definitely going to go into that defense with a lot of confidence. Meanwhile, Themyscira, if you can at least stop this payload, you give yourselves a win condition. They're going to pop some ults at it. That Transcendence comes in. It's going to be not enough to keep up Yellow. Diva Bomb coming in as well, picks up 2. That's going to probably be it as everybody except Witch dies. She's finally going to fall. And a big time swing around from Themyscira. They built up those ultimates for so long, and they were finally able to swing it back around.
5 to 3. Switching sides. Initiating match.
right, guys. Themscara backs up against the wall here on offense. If they can push the payload further than Thank You Next did with the 4 minutes they have, they will force that map 3. If Thank You Next can put up the defensive walls here and really make this stop happen, they can advance to the international championships with Power Esports waiting in a big opening boop from Yellow, taking down Hopes, and then Velvet getting a pick of her own. An absolutely huge start here from the side of Thank You Next, doing exactly what they needed to do. But however, keep in mind, last time we saw Themscara on offense, the first team fight went absolutely not in their favor, and then they didn't lose a team fight for the rest of the map. Let's see if history repeats itself here, if they're able to make it happen, or maybe if Thank You Next has wisened up to this offensive push that we've seen Themscara try to put on the last couple of times, as now this team fight is engaging. Pleasingness is taken down very low, and she's going to get taken out of mech. Big time play there from the side of Thank You Next. We are going to see Becky clean up Pleasingness, so there's going to be a 5v6 with Pureful dropping, make it a 6v4. 6v3 as down goes Moira. A big time win here again from Thank You Next, so at least they were able to make 2 stops this time. Let's see if they can keep on with it, as nobody has fallen here from their team, so give credit to the supports, keeping these teammates topped off as this next team fight is engaging here. Themscara, they have this Mercy ult to work with, so does Witch, but Yellow has this barrage. We have seen her make some huge plays with it. Keep your eyes on her, as she is definitely going to be looking for one. And here she comes, going to pop it, taking down that Bastion, going for the Orisa. Next picks for 2. She's going to get dropped by Sleepy Moira on the Mercy, who's going to hit this res. That could be a huge play, as she was able to take down the ulting Pharah and res back one of her teammates. Still got her gun out. She's going for more. She takes down Becky as well. And Witch does bring Becky back into this one, which will probably be big, as they should probably be able to contest this now and try to burn more time. However, a big time play there from the side of Themscara and Sleepy Moira on that Mercy. We got some ults to work with here. We got Diva Bombs coming out of both teams, and Becky picks up 2. Viva picks up 1 and then pops that Transcendence. Becky with her 3rd there. A nice little 3-piece. That's going to stop the bleeding. That's going to allow them to set their defense back up. And oh man, they had 4 minutes to work with. Thank You Next backs up against the wall. And all of a sudden, this one's looking like they could definitely snag Rialto here and advance to that finals. So here we come now into a sub a minute and a half. Thank You Next trying to continue to apply that pressure on. Themscara have a bunch of ults to work with. They're going to need to get value out of these. That Bastion ult, the Hanzo ult. They have the Transcendence, the Orisa ult. They need to be aggressive with them. They got to get value. They got to get picks. And they got to get this payload rolling. Here we come now. Yellow Diamond has a barrage as well. Becky with that opening pick, taking that Diva out of mech. That's going to allow for them to clean up sack on that Hanzo. All the other picks going in their favor. Thank You Next continuing here on defense. Absolute domination. And the side of Themscara need to change something. Hanzo ult coming out of spawn. I think that means we're going to see Sack probably swap off this Hanzo. Nobody's going to fall for that one. And actually, yeah, looking to swap, I believe, going to the Pharah here. So this is last fight. They have 3 ults to work with. Down goes Miss Heartless. I'm assuming we're going to see a res onto that. We are. Look for them to probably be aggressive with these support ults. Here comes that Transcendence. They got to make something happen now. But Yellow Diamond probably be licking her lips, waiting for this trans to go down. I got to assume we're going to see a play come out of her. She's going for it. Picks up 1. Trying to get more. Actually not going to get a ton of value, as it's actually Pleasingness and Sleepy continuing to make plays. We are going to see Becky trying to go big on this Diva mech. She is going to get the mech. Odd Future last alive with Baby Diva there. And Becky and Velvet actually both pick one up, but then they finally drop. Odd Future in a 3-on-1. She's going to go down as well. But with this being in overtime now, Thank You Next just need to win 1 team fight. Look for them to regroup and probably get pretty aggressive, as they're going to have about probably from here until where they cap, probably about 5 chances to try to stop this payload. They only got to win one of the team fights. No ults available for the side of Themscara. I don't think Thank You Next know that. However, a big pick from Velvet. They're going for the res, and oh, she's just able to stick it, but then she gets dropped, and all these picks coming in. Here come Thank You Next. They want to close it out right now. They want to book a trip to the International Championships, and it looks like they're going to. An impressive comeback on Rialto. Thank You Next going to be playing Power Esports for the title of Female Competitive Circuit Champions #2. And an impressive comeback here on Rialto. Play of the game to Meow Becky on this Diva. She had a couple 3 and 4 pieces here. I think this is that one in in overtime, going to pick up the 2, and then I believe she picks up 2 more after that as well with the oh, that was unlucky for the Mercy, and going to allow for Becky to clean that one up. GG's to them. Scarab had a great run in this tournament, but nonetheless, it is going to be Power going up against Thank You Next. Guys, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the International Finals.
right here standing by your side. Open up your heart and let me in. I promise not to break you. I promise I'll be all that you want. So let me in my heart before. Let me in. Oh, your love explodes. Our hearts implodes. Your love explodes. Our hearts implode.
All right, guys, welcome back. Sorry about the delay. Here we are in the international portion of the tournament, the championships of both regions. We have the EU champions, Power, going up against the NA champions. Thank you. Next, for you guys that are kind of new to this is a best of 5. We're going to start off with map 1 here on NA ping. Map 2 will be on EU. Map 3 on NA. Map 4 on EU. And if we get to map 5, it'll go back and forth per round on that King of the Hill. It'll make a little bit more sense as we're going. Unfortunately, with online video games, you got to try to match everybody to try to make it fair and give everybody a opportunity to win these. If you were around during the IOCC that happened over the summer, the International Cup, you will remember from that as well. Otherwise, here we go now, starting off on this round. Thank you. Next, the home ping. Going to have a slight advantage here as we start out on Busan. Both teams getting aggressive, making their way forward. Yellow versus Ray. Both of these Pharaohs were doing so much in their opening championship rounds, and Ray going to open this one up with a pick on the odd future. Yelled it though. Going to take down Bam, the battle of the snipers. We're going to see Becky get DMAC'd by Birdie. Yellow Diamond then going to drop Juliana. And looks like, though, from the start here, Power should potentially be capping it, as we have Lucy trying to keep everybody alive, but all the picks going in favor of the side of Power. And Thank You Next going to need to go for a regroup, and not looking so good for them here to start on their home ping on Busan. This is you definitely don't want to lose home maps. I think if you want to win these kind of tournaments, you need to be able to protect home ping. And with Power probably playing on what I would assume is close to like 200 ping right now, this is definitely one that Thank You Next is going to need to have if they want to close this out. A big pick there for Velvet, taking down Ray. And but a Red's coming in, bringing her back. She is going to hit that barrage, tries to take down a bunch, does end up getting one, cleans up Becky afterwards. Yellow cleans her up as well, but it's going to be a 4v5 here. Power getting very aggressive. Yellow behind them on the Pharah. However, it's not going to matter, as Thank You Next needs to go for another regroup here on Busan. And right now, Power is looking very good, as they are over 50% capping this first point. Velvet, however, going to take down Bam in a huge fashion with that headshot. Grab and Shatter getting spent here by the side of Power. Red beat drop as well. All the picks coming in for them. They threw a bunch of ults at that team fight, though. Now, if you're Thank You Next, you got to regroup. You have ultimates to work with. Yellow going to get beamed a little late here, though. But I mean, you have that barrage, you have the Shatter, and you have that Valkyrie. If they can get value out of just a couple of those, they can at least break in here and start to try to make this comeback happen. Witch going to get a big time res there onto Yellow. Here comes the engagement now as these teams are making their way forward. And Diamond going to get taken down very low, and she's going to get taken out before she can even look to barrage. Shatter comes in. Nothing going in favor of Thank You Next right now. It is all Power Esports in the kill feed. In Power, a dominating, very impressive start to this first map. Going to go up 1-0 on NA ping. I don't think they lost a team fight, and honestly, I don't think many of them even died. Really impressive stuff. This has been absolutely huge for the side of Power. If they can steal Busan on NA ping and then still have 2 maps to be played on EU ping, they are going to be at a sitting very pretty. So if you're Thank You Next, although this is just map 1 in a best of 5, there is a lot more pressure than you may realize to at least grab this round and force that third round, because right now the side of Power are in a very good situation. So here we come now on the second point, and looks like we're going to see the same comps come out. Becky has got to do more on this Zarya. She's got to put some pressure down on this off-tank role, because I think that's ultimately kind of where it seemed they were lacking in that last round. They got to get value out of all of their ultimates. So here we come now. Immediately, we are going to see Thank You Next making their way to the point. Velvet has to kind of retreat as these dive tanks are just chasing her. The Monkey and the Diva. Yellow going to drop to Bam, and huge opening pick. It is all Power again. It just seems that these team fights are just going so strongly in the favor of Power. They are going to regain the point, and man, this is going to be an uphill battle for the side of Thank You Next. They got to swap some things up. They are going to get off of the Oh, they're going to get onto the dive tanks and pick up a Tracer. They're going to stick with yellow on this Pharah, however, which is going to be interesting as they're going to have pretty low heals for these dive tanks. So we're going to have to see which really focus on yellow. And yeah, it's going to be tough as yellow goes down to that Widowmaker. And Power again looking strong right now. And Barrage coming in, and that's going to pick up a couple. Witch does pull out the Gat and takes down Ray. However, the rest of the picks in favor of Power. And right now, there's just too much pressure on these, on the frontliners for Thank You Next. They have low heals out of that, just the Lucio from Diva. Witch needs to try to keep yellow alive. She's going to swap onto this Widowmaker, which I think is the right choice, because you just can't run that Pharah with the Mercy in the pocket when your tanks are taking so much poke. And oh man, bam, takes down 2 out of spawn. Big time picks. Thank You Next are looking, it's looking slow for them right now, as Power is absolutely exerting their dominance on this map of Busan. And with this being on NA ping, this is a eye-opener for sure for how the rest of the series could potentially go. Velvet on the Sombra trying to stay alive is eventually going to hang on for the time being. Becky, however, going to get taken down very low in that mech. Good beat drop coming in from Diva, trying to keep everybody alive. Primal Rage coming out of Odd Future, trying to just disrupt something here onto the point. We are going to see Birdie get demeched, and Yellow winning that Widow 1v1 is big. Velvet then cleans up Birdie, so you have a 6v4. This is Thank You Next's best opportunity. They've had this entire map to win a team fight. They got to close out right now. Down going goes Kuryu. That should almost just about clinch this team fight. Thank You Next, after allowing 99%, are finally going to get some percent build up and start to give themselves an opportunity to potentially swing Busan back into their favor. Meanwhile, for the side of Power, they do have that Barrage and that Diva Bomb to work with. Also the Primal. Becky has this Diva Bomb. She's got to get value out of it. A lot of pressure is going to come here. It's the only ult they have ready for this fight, unless Velvet is able to farm that hack, the EMP. Here comes the Diva Bomb out of Birdie. He's gonna only pick up Velvet. Barrage coming out of Ray, and Power is throwing ults. Becky and Velvet, the two who had ults or were closest to it, unable to use those in time while alive, and it looks like Power should be cleaning this one up. It is just Odd Future left with Witchcraft, who has been staying alive almost in all of these fights until the end. Odd Future trying to stay alive. She does have that ult to work with to try to keep this stalled out. Velvet comes in with the EMP. It's actually fat. It hacks basically everybody on the map. But I just think it might be a little too late. Here comes a counter EMP from Bam. You do see Thank You Next running it all the way to about 50% before they drop. The timer is ticking down. Velvet is going to contest at the last second, trying to stay alive. Down she goes. Witch going for the res. It's not going to happen. And Thank You Next is going to go down 0-1 as Power Puffs. Looking really good right now. An impressive win on away ping. And now the pressure is really going to be on the side of Thank You Next. Play the game here to Ray on the Pharah. We've seen her do this basically all day. Going to do it again here, shooting into that grab. No barrage needed, picking up 3. And going forward and going to clean up Witch there as well. Very, very impressive stuff. And we are now going to be going to map 2. Guys, don't go anywhere. All right, guys, welcome back. Apologize about that little delay. I had to get the server situated. Had to flop us over onto the EU servers because Power now on their home ping here on Route 66, and this is going to be a tight one. And Bam Fighter gonna open this one up with an opening pick straight away onto Yellow Diamond, and this is probably gonna make this one be a pretty tight contest. Right away, we're going to see Yellow get taken out again after getting rezzed by Witch. Viva trying to contest the point on this Lucio as we see the side of Thank You Next trying to contest. However, it looks like Power going to win the first team fight here as Miyabeki last alive. She is going to go down, and just like that, Power, they are looking very strong. A very impressive performance, picking up right where they left off on Busan. Thank You Next have got to get something figured out because right now Power is looking very, very good. Thank You Next might be looking for a re-engage here. Velvet on this Sombra can definitely get around behind and put some pressure on the back lines. Open up an opportunity for them to try to fight this one out. Gonna hit that hack onto the Bastion. That's gonna be big, trying to pressure Birdie off of this, but Birdie has just played such an impressive series so far. Big EMP coming in. That should be enough for the side of Thank You Next. I mean, I apologize for power buffs. Nonetheless, Birdie gonna pull out the tank, clean this one up, picks up the 3. We might see that one again at the end of the map as a very impressive team fight there. Power Puffs continue to push this payload forward. The side of Thank You Next need to get something else going. It might need to be a role swap. It might need to be a different comp. I don't know what they need to do. All I know is right now, Power Puffs are having their way with this series. Actually, the Sombras run into each other, so now they know where each other are. Both of them were invisible, and they run headfirst into each other. Neither going to die. They both end up backing away. As now we have this team fight engaging. Birdie laying down the damage on this Bastion. Thank You Next going to actually kite all the way around the corner. Yellow going to drop to Ray, who picks up 2. There we have Velvet and Miyabeki each getting 1, making this a 4v4. However, the res coming in, but Becky and Odd Future pick up another one as well. This is definitely a winnable team fight for the side of Thank You Next. However, Ray taking down Becky, Ray taking down Odd Future. Ray is one shot, continuing to get kills on this Pharah, gonna get healed back up, and Power Puffs refuse to quit, refuse to be stopped. As long as Ray is alive, he can win any team fight. She is probably right now Power Puffs MVP throughout day 2 of this tournament, and is looking absolutely lights out right now. Another pick for Ray, taking down Yellow. We have the EMP Diva Bomb coming in, but it's not able to get anybody. However, we do have Yellow getting res back into this one. Transcendence being popped by Juliana. B-Truck getting invested up. Bunch of wolves being thrown at this fight. Picks getting traded to start this one off. EMP coming out. It's going to probably be enough to swing this one in favor of the Power Puffs. They got the supports there, trying to stay alive. Down goes Yellow Diamond. Diva has been doing a good job contesting the payload so far, but she is still dancing. And Birdie's just spinning in circles. And finally, they're going to drop Viva. Huge plays coming out of the side of Power Puffs. Thank You Next tried their best on that team fight. They threw some ultimates. They almost made it happen. But right now, Power Puffs is just playing at too high of a level. And oh man, when in doubt, pull Zotes out, I suppose, for the side of Thank You Next, as this is kind of the NA staple when on EU ping. We saw it in the IOCC. You go on the away ping, you play the Zodes. That's what they're going to do. Yellow's going to open it up with the first pick. The ult coming in from Birdie, she's going to drop as well. What is Zodes the answer? This might be all they needed to do, as all of a sudden we are going to see Thank You Next win a team fight. And I'm sure there are a couple not so nice names being said right now in the Power Puffs party about this Thank You Next team pulling out the goats. But hey, you're in a tournament. This is do or die. You got to make it happen. You play any comp you want, and that's going to force Birdie to swap immediately onto this Reaper. And a lot of pressure is going to be on her to try to make some plays, try to open up team fights, and to try to really neutralize the amount of heals that this Thank You Next team has. And here we come now, the engagement happening, pinning across the point. Yellow taken down very low. The Pharah in the backline's Ray going absolutely huge, picking up 4, almost gets 5. Yellow does shut her down. It's just Yellow alive. She is going to drop a huge play by Ray. And I know we said that we mentioned that Birdie play again. I think Ray just said, yeah, you're not seeing that one again. You're going to have to see my play, as she has been absolutely electric for this team so far today. and is continuing to try to close out this series, give them that 2-0 lead, force that third map. Here comes the Kiva Bomb over the top. Becky is going to pick up Juliana, but Ray cleans up Odd Future seconds before. Diamond does take down Bam. This one can still go either way. Witchcraft's going to pop that rally, trying to keep her teammates alive, giving everybody all that armor right now. And actually, that might be all it took, as the side of Thank You Next should close out this team fight as well. Good support ults coming in from them. That's exactly what they had to do. They are going to back them up. However, Ray is going to have another barrage next team fight, as she just gets so much ultimate AoE on this Goats comp. And Thank You Next has their work cut out for them with the ults coming in. Meanwhile, Odd Future, though, Velvet has this Graviton, and Odd Future has the Earth Shatter. So there's ults for both sides. It's going to come down to who can use them better. Both Zens having theirs as well are going to be very important. Here we come now as this engagement is making its way on this last bit. 2 minutes left for Thank You Next. Barrage coming in. Ray picks up 2. Absolutely huge. Becky's got to be there to eat that barrage. She was in the back line trying to help with the Sombra, though, I believe. And that is going to allow for Powerpuffs to get this payload going forward. Birdie has this Death Blossom to work with. I wouldn't be surprised. Here it comes. And, well, they all kind of sneak past. Barrage coming out, but the Transcendent's going to keep them all alive. Yellow Diamond does clean up Bam. Rez coming in, brings her back, but they're not going to have Cernix. We are going to see Ray take down Witchcraft here. And there's no real ult on the table for either team. It's going to come down to who can get the kills. Bam does take down one. Velvet takes down Birdie. Picks going back and forth right now. And we have Yellow back on this hand and just doing the contest thing. And all of a sudden, Thank You Next might be able to swing this one back into their favor here. And it looks like they're going to, but Ray has another barrage. This is as good as it gets for fair play, and going right back in with it. It's up 2, make it 3. Ray is unstoppable on this Pharah. It doesn't get better. It just doesn't get better. This fair play is unstoppable right now for the side of Powerpuffs. You just got to clean up the stat straggers as Velvet and Viva drop, and just like that, Powerpuffs. I mean, listen, Thank You Next did a good job burning time. It looked like it was going to be out of hand. They did a good job burning quite a bit of time there, but Powerpuffs are looking really good. And with about 40 seconds left now on offense, they gave themselves an excellent win condition here on Route 66.
Initiating match.
Looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control when we feel like the world is against us. We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for.
All right, guys, welcome back to round 2 here on Route 66. Thank You Next have their work cut out for them. They got to get this payload going. They're not coming out on that Zotes comp that kind of was working for them on defense. They're going to try a 2-2-2, and if Velvet is taking out Ray like that, it's going to be pretty easy for them. However, she's getting that res back from Kiryu. They know they need Ray alive. She has been the hard damage doer for them here. Birdie on this Bastion as well, and just like that, Birdie takes Becky out of net, cleans up Yellow. Odd Future does take down Juliana, so that's a big pick for the side of Thank You Next. However, there's just so much damage coming out from Powerpuffs as Ray raining down the rockets. Birdie just putting down the damage, and then with Bam Fighter in the backline trying to clean up these low players, and actually she's going to get dropped. Maybe a little overextended there. This is a good opportunity here for the side of Thank You Next to try to engage, especially with Viva now back into the fight. Here we come now, making our way towards the payload. They're starting to get that thing rolling here. And the side of Powerpuff's going to elect to rotate to the other side of Big Girls and look for an engage as this payload makes its way around the bend. Juliana taking down a one-shot again, but going to be able to stay alive. Birdie taking down Viva. That is a big opening pick. Bam, then taking down Velvet. Looks like Powerpuff should be able to hold on here as Birdie and Ray each pick one up of their own. And just like that, Powerpuffs, they got Odd Future and now Becky for a little stagger here. And finally, they're going to take down Becky. And they have a lot of ults to work with, and they are halfway through this defensive hold. This team is looking extremely well right now. As we are now getting down to that 2-minute warning for the side of Thank You Next. Going to be going underneath the cave onto the point, and I actually like to play it. They're going to just avoid all of the Powerpuff players who are pushed up and try to group up here onto the point and apply that pressure, although they did not expect a big EMP and for Ray to rain down the barrage. And that is like her third or fourth 4-man on this point alone, on this map alone, I mean, and it's just like at this point, which barrage is going to be play of the game. It's kind of going to be up to the game at this point because she had plenty so far. But with that being said, Thank You Next. They got some ults working here for this team fight, and they can definitely make something happen here. They just got to group up and focus targets well. But keep an eye on Birdie. She has this Bastional. If she can get value out of that, if she can maybe land a direct rocket or two onto a support, that's going to be huge. But Viva taking down Bam, that's a big opening pick. But Velvet dropping to Ray is going to swing this one back around. Down goes Viva as well. It's a 4v5 on point. MP coming in from yellow. We are going to see Odd Future make this a 4v4, but then Ray has another barrage. She just barraged last team fight. Going to get some value out of that one as well. Powerpuffs, another team fight win. They are not doing enough to slow down Ray. At this point, I don't know if she's slowed down a bull. I know she's not stoppable. I don't even know if you can slow her down. With that being said, so here we come now into what really could be the last full team fight for Thank You Next. 50 seconds left. There is not a lot of time for them here. They have some ults to work with. Birdie has this Bastion ult to try to stop any push. They are really split right now too. They're really focusing on Bam in the back lines. Ray takes down Velvet. You're going to have that Transcendence come in. Yellow taking down Juliana. That is a big pick. Yellow picks up a second. They need Yellow to pop off, but she's going to drop to Bam. We are seeing Birdie trying to stay alive through that Hanzo ult on the point. She's finally going to drop to Viva. Juliana taking down very low. Velvet gets a pick as well, and decide to Thank You Next might be making it happen. 10 seconds left. It's just, I believe, Bam and Kuryu left. Down goes Bam, or Kuryu. It's just Bam, and they are going to give this point up. Thank You Next. Make it happen at the buzzer. Barely squeaking that one out. Powerpuffs are looking really good. However, with that being said, they are finally going to start getting this payload moving forward. So here we come now into the streets phase with the side of Powerpuffs. Definitely sitting pretty right now, and if they're gonna make this defensive hold happen, an impressive stop here and burning some time would be an excellent start, and a 5-man EMP is a great way to start it off. Ray gonna get value out of that barrage. Yellow Diamond is gonna drop her, but not before she picks up 2 kills. That 2-for-1 trade is something that Powerpuffs will take every day of the week, as that is going to be a team fight win for them. A quick regroup from Thank You Next, but nonetheless, we are going to be down to about 1.5 minutes. Oh, Ray with the poke and the spawn. They are going to be able to hit that res on Viva, luckily. However, Ray is just continuing to do as she wants on this fair. Here we come now. Odd Future has this shatter. Let's see if she's able to get herself in position to potentially use it. With a big pick on the Juliana. That's exactly what they needed to do to start this one off. Give themselves that man advantage. We have Ray discorded in the back. Rez coming in brings back Juliana. We are then going to see Diva drop, who's just really getting dove on hard by Bird here. Juliana to keep them all alive. Ray, who's getting a barrage. Every team fight's going to pick up 4 there again. It's just too easy for her at this point, and she is absolutely taking over this game. We are now down to 50 seconds left for Thank You Next, and they really just don't have an answer for Ray. I mean, we've seen this kind of be a common thing on console Overwatch, where pharmacy is just too much. There's a lot of different ways you can try to counter it, but at the end of the day, it always seems like you're never really countering it. You're more so just making the Pharaoh's life a little bit harder. But right now, I don't know what the side of making it could do. Ray gets a kill. Juliana gets a kill. Velvet is going to get res back into this one. Both Divas going to chuck their bombs up. Neither gets a kill with it, which is an interesting little twist into this one. However, we are going to see the next two picks go in favor of Powerpuffs. Velvet does get a kill there, but she is going to drop as well. Eva D-Mex Birdie, but she gets taken out by Cernex. Curry with the res. Becky gonna get staggered here on this baby Diva. And Odd Future going for the try to touch, unable to do it. Powerpuffs go up 2-0, protect home court. And we're gonna be making our way back to NA Ping. But first, play the game. Surely couldn't. Who else? Honestly, who else? Right, with the Pog going to come through. This is that one on first point, and it was just too easy. It cleans up Velvet here as well, and like just like that, the side of Powerpuffs up 2-0. Maybe going to map 3. Don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back.
Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing up our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot think into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for.
All right, guys, welcome back to Map 3. We are on NA Ping here on Kings Row with the side of Thank You Next down 0-2 to Power Puffs. Power Puffs here on offense, trying to close out this series and win the female competitive circuit tournament number 2. Velvet with the opening pick on the BAM. That's going to be big. If she can continue to win that team fight, that matchup consistently, it'll be a huge advantage for the side of Thank You Next. However, we are going to see Cernex drop a Viva. Cernex just barely hanging on, very low HP, somehow able to stay alive. Birdie then takes down Odd Future. Vic's going back and forth, but right now it looks like the side of Powerpuff, which might have all it takes, even after being the first blood. And yeah, just like that, Velvet's going to drop as well. Yellow Diamond trying to stay alive up on that high ground. She is going to get pushed back on this McCree. Down she goes. Powerpuffs come in on that first team fight, and in 45 seconds cap the first point, and just like that, are going to move now into the streets phase. The side of Thank You Next need to regroup and need to make it happen. They are just getting bodied backwards right now. Becky one shot trying to stay alive on this Zarya. She's able to get away to her team, barely able to hang on, but Odd Future is not going to have the same fate as she drops there, giving this a huge opportunity for Powerpuffs to move this payload forward as they are waiting for their main tank. And right now we just have the Lucio of Juliana hanging out on the payload, allowing her team to get the picks they need and moving this thing forward. Velvet getting knocked out unconscious by Karyu on this Mercy. And the side of Powerpuffs are really looking good right now as Thank You Next looking for that regroup here. They do have some ults to work with. However, Ray has this barrage, and we've seen her really get a lot of value on almost every barrage here. We saw 25 barrage kills, but Velvet with a big time kill. That's huge. We are going to see Kuryu go for that res. She's trying to stick it. She brings Ray back. Don't be surprised if Ray gets very aggressive. Oh, a big shatter. That's huge. Future hits the shatter. Yellow with the two-man high noon. Exactly the stop Thank You Next needed, and they're going to swing this one back into their favor here. I don't know if that was planned or if it happened accidentally, but either way, that was a sick play. And the side of Thank You Next is now going to set up defense here in the streets and start to look like maybe they can make something happen. However, with that being said, we have Farah Zarya combo ready for this fight. Here comes the grab. It's actually only got one in it, so they're not going to use the barrage there. Becky does take down one. Ray comes up. Birdie and Bam both get a pick. Nothing out of that barrage, but Bam gets enough kills to make it worth it. Becky trying to get away. Really, she's probably going to just have to hop off the map here. Ends up dying a little bit later than a team, but nonetheless a big-time team fight win for Powerpuff. And that's one Thank You Next is probably going to wish they had back, as they kind of whipped on the grab there, and Next is still unable to take advantage. However, Becky does have a grab here. It's a big opening pick for Velvet. They could start to maybe make this defensive play happen here off of those picks. Well, the side of Powerpuff getting a little aggressive here, although they are down a man. Here comes the grab out of Becky. That's big. You got to focus into it. Not Future is just swinging her hammer into it. They are going to get one. Almost a big poop coming in from Juliana. However, nobody falls. A big pin from Odd Future. This one should go in favor of Thank You Next. Right as I'm saying that, though, Ray gets a kill, and she is closing in on a barrage. She picks up another. Cernex gets one as well. It looked like Thank You Next had it, but they're all going to die. Powerpuffs rolling this into the final point here on Kings Row. They have over 4 minutes left as they are making their way to that final bend. Powerpuffs are just playing at a huge level right now, and the side of Thank You Next needs to regroup. These ults are going to be so crucial here. Each team having quite a few. Velvet gets another big pick. Make that two. Big shatter coming in from Odd Future. This should be a team fight win for Thank You Next. It wasn't looking good there for a second, but they're able to finally put up that defensive stop and make it happen. Now, if you're the side of Thank You Next, you just got to be smart with your ults. You got to get value. You have this Transcendence. Viva has to do her best to try to counter maybe a DPS play here out of Ray. Velvet, though, man, if she's shooting like that, they're going to be hard to beat. Becky does take down Juliana. We are going to see Ray get res back into this one. Birdie going to drop as well, and Thank You Next maybe starting to get their confidence up as they're getting a couple picks here, getting aggressive. They got to be careful not to be too aggressive. We've seen Ray get team wipes before with this ult, and if you step into maybe a little too far where she's got a good angle, just like that, she takes down Viva. We are going to see Becky clean up Bam. However, the rest of the kills could be going in favor of either team as this fight is engaging here. And Ray having this barrage could definitely do something. She's going to be up on the high ground, going behind for the flank, picks up one. She's going to die to Becky. That's big focusing, as we saw her get way too many kills on Route 66 for Thank You Next liking. However, we are going to see D.Va pop this Transcendence. Rez coming in on Becky. She has that grab. It's a fat grab here. They got to focus into it. There's nobody there to really shoot into it. Yellow gets booped off after using that high noon. Odd Future then boops off the Lucio with her pin. We are going to see a grab coming in for the side of Powerpuffs. They're going to clean them all up. It's just Witchcraft left. She needs to try to dance. She's doing her best to try to stay alive and contest the point. They can't kill her. She's still alive. Still alive. This is Witchcraft. Unbelievable contesting there out of her. Just the Mercy gives enough time for Yellow to get back on this Hammond, which gives enough time for Odd Future to get back. Nail Becky back as well. D.Va there also. It is 4 people for the defense. Down goes D.Va. It's a 3v6. Trying to stay alive. Down goes Odd Future. Becky and Yellow just the last alive. Velvet gets back on a May. This should be able to help contest as well, trying to stay alive here. And Witch just trying to keep them all topped off. No ults available though for the side of Thank You Next. Nothing really to swing this in your favor. You're just burning time at this point, trying their best to contest as long as they can. Picks coming in, Odd Future and Witch left last alive. Down goes Witch. Odd Future trying. Becky back on the Lucio. She's going to get barraged by Ray. That's going to finally do it. However, about 30 seconds fought for them by the defense from Thank You Next. With Powerpuff, set themselves up for an excellent win condition. Don't let the side of Thank You Next cap the payload, and you don't have to worry about anything else. This could be closed out, no problem here, if they're able to play that defense that we saw them play on the other maps in this series.
Past the rings of Saturn, across the Milky Way, where it's sweet and diamonds. We'll pretend someday, speaking without words, in perfect harmony. I'll run away with you to another galaxy. It was raining in the skies. We can't be torn apart. We are linked together, forging fire forever. We are linked together.
Attackers incoming.
All right, guys, welcome back to round two. Thank You Next need to make a huge comeback. If they're going to make this happen, they're going to come out on the goats. They're going left, trying to avoid that poke, and here comes the speed boost. Going to be making their way through the hotel and trying to get value out of this goats here on Kings Row. Which going to get that first pick. Picks going in favor of Thank You Next. We do have Odd Future dropping to Ray, who's going to continue to get a lot of AoE here. She might get a barrage if she can stay alive. She's already at 70%. Curfew, the one that you see hanging on. She's going to drop the Velvet. That is a huge pick. This team fight should go in favor of Thank You Next, as Ray maybe a little out of position. She's going to get barrage at the last second. Thank You Next coming in with the goats comp and going to win a team fight. And they get some staggers here too if they get aggressive. And they're going to. They're going to definitely pick up a couple, I would think. Down goes Juliana. Down goes X Birdie. They want more. They're going to get Kuryu as well. Big time staggers. That's exactly what Thank You Next needed. Build that confidence up a little bit here and get this payload in. And now this is going to start its way into this middle of the streets phase. Payload rolling for Thank You Next. Birdie gonna get stunned by that ghost. Instead of Thank You Next is very aggressive. Ray gonna pick up one with the barrage, make that two. Trying to go for more. And it's a big time team fight win for Powerpuffs. It's just Velvet and Diamond left alive. They're gonna go try to clean them up. Velvet trying to hang on a point. Down she goes, making their way all the way around, and just like that, Powerpuffs gonna win a team fight. But don't get too aggressive here. Ray maybe overextended. They're trying to hunt for her, but she is gonna get out. But I think they might lose Kuryu. They are. They're gonna lose their Mercy. Thank you next. Need to go on this. Odd Future drops. This could be a split. Bam picks up one, tries using that dragon, not gonna get any. I kind of like Thank You Next fighting this team fight with the Mercy being down, and that picks up Ray. Now you definitely have to go as Becky with a big time Diva Bomb. Thank You Next need to make something happen, I believe, on this team fight. Here comes the grab, that's big. This should probably be the team fight when they need it. I'm assuming they're gonna put this one into the final phase, and they're gonna have a good amount of time left here, as this has been a very impressive offense so far for Thank You Next. I don't think they're gonna have anybody who's gonna be able to touch on the side of Powerpuff. I believe they're just gonna give this one up. Although they do have that Farrah Zarya for basically the second This Hit Streets phase. Actually, they're going for the contest. They're able to get there as the Sombra is able to get on. Here comes the Barrage getting used, the Graviton as well. It's all getting eaten by the Diva, though. The payload still technically isn't capped. Or no, it is. The payload is capped. Yeah, Powerpuff is fighting a useless fight as the payload was already capped, exactly what Thank You Next needed because they invested ults there. That could be a huge mishap for the side of Powerpuff, as now Thank You Next have over 4.5 minutes to work with. They have the ult economy in their favor. Powerpuff using quite a few ults there in essentially what was a meaningless fight, seeing as how the point had already been capped. Now, as we make our way down this final bed here on Kings Row, keep in mind, guys, we are on NA King. Map 1 and Map 2 both went in favor of the side of Powerpuff on those split pings. Ray going for the Barrage, gonna pick up one. Velvet gets one as well. A big beat drop coming in from Witchcraft, keeping everybody topped off. Kairu is going to bring back Cernex, but everybody is low on the side of Powerpuffs. Cernex takes down Odd Future, though, and cleans up Witch. Velvet taking down Kuryu. This one could go either direction. Ray getting another pick. Really getting value right now. And the side of Powerpuff are going to dig their feet in and hold on. Very impressive stuff.
My ultimate is charged.
Very, very impressive. Now we are making our way into the what could be potentially a winning fight here for the side of Thank You Next. However, a big time Graviton coming out of Birdie. Velvet does take down Ray, but all the other picks going in favor of the side of Power. We are going to see Thank You Next back up again. They have some ults to work with, though, coming into this next fight. If Becky and Velvet can maybe link up for a combo, that could be detrimental to try to swing this one back in favor of Thank You Next. But for the time being, Power holding control onto the payload. We have that Barrage ready for Ray as well. Keep an eye on her with that. She's going to be swooping in, trying to be aggressive. Diva Bomb coming out of Becky. It's going to pick up two. Absolutely huge. Graviton going to be there as well. We have that Barrage from Ray. Not going to get anybody as Becky picks up a three-piece. Shatter coming in. That's going to clean the Zen up as well of Juliana. It is just the Diva left. The Reinhardt left. He is going to fall. And just like that, Thank You Next are going to force this one down to the final checkpoint. They are going to be just a few meters away from potentially closing out this map as we engage here. 4 meters away, we are going to see Yellow Diamond drop Juliana. Nobody on the point there. Going to hop on and try to contest. Ray trying to stay alive. Kuryu going to pop that ult and try to keep everybody topped off. Cernex trying to stay alive, closing in on the Shatter. Yellow takes down Ray. That's a big one as well. Bam Fighter trying to stay alive in the back. 3 picks for Thank You Next. Graviton comes in, but there's no follow-up. Beat drop from Witch, huge, keeping everybody alive. Just got to clean up the supports that are contesting. Down goes the Mercy. Juliana does take down Yellow Diamond, but the rest of the picks in favor of Thank You Next. They just got to get this last one. I believe it's the Hammond and the Tracer now, as the side of Powerpuff's really trying to get this contest going. But all the picks in favor of Thank You Next. EMP comes out. It's not going to be enough. Rez, though, onto Ray on this Tracer. That's going to definitely burn a little bit more time as well, which allows for the Lucio to get back. Grab comes in. That should finally do it. Thank You Next. Just going to kill the Mercy. Down she goes. And just like that, Thank You Next, forcing overtime here on Kings Row. Finally shooting back, it seems like. And we are going to have a pretty close time bank, I think, as well. 145 to 137, exactly. Almost identical times here. Both teams are going to have a great opportunity to close out Kings Row. Thank You Next want to force map 4, and the side of Powerpuff want to send this one to the they want to push end on this one, call it a weekend, and grab the crown of champions for this female competitive circuit number 2. This is definitely going to be an awesome overtime.
Ready for battle. Attackers.
All right, guys, welcome back. First on offense is going to be Thank You Next. They have a chance here to potentially put some pressure on. They're going to probably stick with this Goats comp. Exactly coming out here. Ray trying to get value on this Pharah, and she is putting down a ton of AoE right now, closing in on a barrage already. Birdie on this Bastion as well, staying up on that high ground. This is going to be tough for the side of Thank You Next. They're going to have to play together. They got to make sure they're focusing targets. And here we come now. Ray landing a ton of rockets. She has a barrage. She's at 91 to a barrage. She's got it now. I wouldn't be surprised if she looks to get aggressively here as they come up these stairs. She's actually going around behind them. Elect to come out here as the side of Thank You Next has rotated over. Ray gonna go up, around. And the side of Thank You Next going all the way around as Ray's gonna pick up 2, trying to go for the 3rd. She's gonna get it, 3 down. That's a team fight win for the side of Powerpuff. And Thank You Next gonna be careful with these 2 in the back lines. And I actually think Powerpuff gifted them that. Powerpuff could have left them alive entirely and probably burnt another 15 seconds with just those 2 there. However, they kill them quick, and Birdie has her ultimate to work with. This is going to be very tough now for Thank You Next to try to make something happen. Here they come now. Yellow Diamond has her Moira ult. She's going to have to do something with it. Becky going to get hacked right away on this D.Va, and she's going to get D-mech. That's frustrating. That's going to make this fight difficult. And Ray is just getting so much value on this Pharah. Already has another barrage almost ready to go. Here they come around the back. Thank You Next trying to make it happen here. Ray landing these rockets one after the other. EMP coming in from Bam. This one could potentially do it. We are going to see Ray with her 2nd barrage of overtime. Picks up 3. Going for the 4th. Hunting for blood. And wow, what a defense from the side of Powerpuffs. Now Becky just unable to contest. Power is 1 tick away from closing out this tournament.
Score 3-3. Switching sides. Initiating match.